MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell actually spoke to the folks at Business Insider this week to talk about the $1.3 billion lawsuit that he is facing from Dominion Voting Systems for allegedly defaming the company with all of his claims of some kind of election interference, election fraud, whatever it is. Lindell's been claiming Dominion is one of the companies right at the heart of this. And so back in February, they filed the $1.3 billion defamation lawsuit against him. And Lindell told Business Insider he's happy about this. It's totally exactly what he wanted. He wanted to be sued so he could get his hands on their documents. Okay. Good luck with that. I mean, I know you will in discovery, but on the other hand, reports are now saying that, actually, legal experts in these reports are now saying that you could lose your company. Last time I checked, Mike Lindell had a net worth of maybe around $300 million, maybe a little under that. A lot of money, don't get me wrong, a lot of money. But $300 million is not $1.3 billion. In fact, if you do the quick math on that, you'll see that it's $1 billion short. So legal experts are now saying if Dominion is successful, and of course, if they get $1.3 billion in damages, which is unlikely for the record, but even if you cut that number down, if you cut that number in half, it still means Lindell is going to owe more than he has. At that point, when Lindell cannot pay, that's when things get interesting. Either he could turn over his company to Dominion, and they would then use that to, make up the difference for what he owes them still. Or he could liquidate. The company would effectively go bankrupt, essentially, according to the legal experts, be put up for auction, at which point Dominion could be one of the companies that swoops in and buys it. So then you make voting machines and you make pillows, right? Win-win for everybody. Either way, Lindell's ability to retain ownership of his own company is not looking so great right now. Of course, if a jury comes back or, if a judge, whatever, says, yes, you win your defamation suit, but we're only going to give you $100 million, Lindell would be okay. He has $100 million to spare, and that's a wild thought for somebody as seemingly nutty as he is. But he could afford that. He could probably afford $200 million. But once you start getting more than that, that's when things get iffy. And the big question, of course, is what is Dominion going to get in the final verdict? $1.3 billion is steep. $1.3 billion, I believe, is asking way too much for what happened. But Lindell is not pessimistic about this at all. He's super optimistic. And in fact, once again, in this interview with Business Insider, he said that when he wins, he's going to get his hands on all those Dominion voting machines, take the plastic off. Because last time when he said he was going to melt down the machines, I mentioned the plastic. So I guess maybe he was paying attention. He's going to take the plastic off, melt it down separately to make prison food trays, and then melt the metal in the voting machines down to make prison bars for all of these Dominion executives and, of course, everybody else that Lindell says is in on the conspiracy to steal the 2020 election, which, as we all know, didn't happen. Of course, that's the best case scenario for Lindell. And even if he wins, he's not going to get his hands on the voting machines, and I don't think the man knows how to melt them down if he did. The real possibility is that MyPillow no longer becomes a Mike Lindell property. And if it goes up for auction, again, Dominion could snatch it up, or anybody else could buy it. So, if you're in the market for a cheap pillow company, stay tuned, because things are going to get really interesting with this case moving forward.